Hello everyone, thank you for joining me. I'm Kerry. Today I'll be showing you how to crochet an ambulance. I've had a few requests to make an ambulance. When crocheted using 8-ply yarn and a 3mm hook, this large one, the size is 22.5 centimetres wide by 10.5 centimetres or 8 3/4 inches wide by 4 inches. The medium ambulance crocheted using 4-ply crochet cotton and a 1.5mm hook is 14.5 centimetres wide by 7 centimetres or 5 1/4 inches wide by 2 3/4 inches. This small ambulance crocheted using 2-ply crochet cotton and a 1mm hook is 11 centimetres wide by 6 centimetres or 4 1/4 inches wide by 2 1/4 inches. I'll be using Catona cotton, so the size will be a bit smaller than the large one. I'll tell you the size at the end of the video. I'll be using Catona cotton. I've got 106 Snow White, 110 Black, 115 Hot Red, 208 Yellow Gold and 074 Mercury. I've got sewing thread and a needle to stitch it together, and the black is also to embroider on the markings. I've got a 2.5mm crochet hook, a darning needle to weave in the ends and scissors. Now we'll start on the body of the ambulance. We start at the bottom and work up. I've got my 106, the Snow White, and we start with 41 chain. Now that's my 41 chain. For row 1 we miss the first chain and we work one single crochet in each remaining chain. We'll have 40 stitches. For a single crochet is a double crochet using UK terms. For a single crochet we put the hook into the chain, the second from the hook, and bring up a loop, yarn around the hook and take the hook with the yarn at the end through both loops. So one single crochet in each remaining chain, and as this will take a while, I'll work the rest of this row off camera. I'll have 40 stitches altogether. Now that's row 1 done. Now rows 2 to 5 are all worked the same. We start with one chain and turn and work one single crochet in each of the 40 stitches. So I'll work these 4 rows off camera of just one chain and turn and work one single crochet in each of the 40 stitches. Our work will just have straight edges on each side and have 40 stitches in each row. So that's 4 rows I'll work off camera. Now that's the first 5 rows done. Both ends are straight. Now we're going to start decreasing on one side, but the other side will stay straight. For row 6 we start with 3 chain and turn. We're going to work a joined double crochet, half double crochet and single crochet over the first 3 stitches. So we put the yarn around the hook, hook into the first stitch and bring up a loop, yarn around the hook and take the hook with the yarn at the end through 2 loops. Then yarn around the hook, hook into the next stitch and bring up a loop and then hook into the following stitch and bring up a loop. We've got 5 loops on the hook. Put the yarn around the hook and take the hook with the yarn at the end through all the loops. Now we're going to work 1 single crochet in each remaining stitch. We'll have 38 stitches including this first stitch. So 1 single crochet in each of the last 37 stitches. For row 7 we start with 1 chain and turn. We work 1 single crochet in each of the first 35 stitches. There are 3 stitches left. We work a joined single crochet, half double crochet and double crochet over the last 3 stitches. So we put our hook into the next stitch and bring up a loop, yarn around the hook, hook into the following stitch and bring up a loop, yarn around the hook, hook into the last stitch and bring up a loop, yarn around the hook and take the hook with the yarn at the end through 2 loops. We've got 5 loops on the hook. We put the yarn around the hook and take the hook with the yarn at the end through all the loops. For row 8 we start with 1 chain and turn. We work a joined single crochet over the first 2 stitches. So we put the hook into the first stitch and bring up a loop, and hook into the next stitch and bring up a loop. There are 3 loops on the hook. We put the yarn around the hook and take the hook with the yarn at the end through all the loops. Then we work 1 single crochet in each stitch to the end. We'll have 35 stitches altogether. For row 9 we start with 1 chain and turn. We work 1 single crochet in each of the first 33 stitches. And we work a joined single crochet over the last 2 stitches. For row 10 we start with 1 chain and turn. We work a joined single crochet over the first 2 stitches, and then we work 1 single crochet in each stitch to the end. We'll have 33 stitches. For row 11, we start with 1 chain and turn. We work 1 single crochet in each of the first 31 stitches. And a joined single crochet over the last 2 stitches. For row 12, we start with 1 chain and turn. We work a joined single crochet over the first 2 stitches, and then 1 single crochet in each stitch to the end. We'll have 31 stitches. For row 13, we start with 1 chain and turn. We work 1 single crochet in each of the first 29 stitches. There are 2 stitches left. We work a joined single crochet over the last 2 stitches. For row 14, we start with 1 chain and turn. We work a joined single crochet over the first 2 stitches, and then we work 1 single crochet in each stitch to the end. There'll be 29 stitches. Now we've finished this front part. Now we'll just be working this back part. For row 15, we start with 1 chain and turn and work 1 single crochet in each of the first 23 stitches. We miss those last stitches. For rows 16 and 17, we start with 1 chain and turn, and we work 1 single crochet in each of the 23 stitches. So I'll work those 2 rows off camera. Now that's the body of the ambulance worked, except for the neatening row. Now I'm going to have my ambulance facing this way, the same as this one, but if you wanted your ambulance to face the other way, just turn it before the neatening row, and when you were doing the window you wouldn't turn it, and you'd probably have to start your siren closer to this end than that end. Now for the neatening row we start with 1 chain. Now I like to work my first single crochet in the last stitch worked, so just in here. We're going to work single crochets around, so we'll be working 1 single crochet in most stitches. In the corner stitches we'll work 2 single crochet, or 1 single crochet, 1 chain and 1 single crochet. Now I like to slip stitch just down in this corner here, and then work 1 single crochet in each stitch just along the top bit here. Now you could work 2 single crochet in this end stitch and then just work 1 single crochet in each stitch down this slope. I'm just working 1 chain just in this corner here, and then I'll work 1 single crochet in each stitch down to this next corner. Into this corner stitch here, the first back of the chain, I work 1 single crochet, 1 chain and 1 single crochet, and then just work 1 single crochet in the back of each chain, and we just continue like that, working 1 single crochet along to the corner, 1 single crochet, 1 chain and 1 single crochet in the corner stitch, then 1 single crochet up the side, 1 single crochet, 1 chain and 1 single crochet in the corner stitch. Now just work along to the last stitch, and I'll be back once we get to the last stitch, so I'll just work this off camera. Now I'm nearly back to the corner. I work 1 single crochet in the same stitch as our first stitch, work 1 chain and then slip stitch into the first stitch worked. So I put my hook into the first stitch, bring through a loop and take it straight through the loop on the hook, and then I fasten off. And that's the ambulance body worked. Now we've got 2 wheels worked the same, so I'll just work 1 on camera. For the centre I've got my 106 of Snow White, and I start with a magic loop. If you'd prefer, you could start with 4 chain and join with a slip stitch. There's lots of ways to make a magic loop, so make it how you feel most comfortable. I just put my hook on the yarn, bring the short end over the hook and the long end over the short end to make a circle, yarn around the hook and bring my hook with the yarn at the end through the circle. I start with 1 chain and I work 12 half double crochet in the circle. A half double crochet is a half treble using UK terms. For a half double crochet, put the yarn around the hook, hook into the circle and bring up a loop, yarn around the hook and take the hook with the yarn at the end through all the loops. So we need 11 more half double crochet into the circle. That's my 12 half double crochet. Now we ease in the circle, so we take hold of the tail and just ease it in as tight as you can, and then we join with a slip stitch in the top of the first stitch, so not the chain, the first stitch there, and fasten off. And that's the centre of the wheel done. I'll weave in those ends and I'll be back with my black to work the outside. Now for the outside of the wheel, I've got my 110, the black, and we join in any stitch. We work one chain, we work 2 half double crochet in the same stitch as the join, and then 2 half double crochet in each stitch around. And then join with a slip stitch in the top of the first stitch and fasten off. And that's the wheel done. I'll work another wheel off camera. Now for this stripe, I've got my 115, the hot red, and we start with 37 chain. Now we miss the first 2 chain and work 1 half double crochet in each remaining chain. and then we fasten off. And that's the stripe done. Now for the cross, I've still got my 115, the hot red, and we work 8 chain. We miss the first chain and work 1 half double crochet in each remaining chain. And we fasten off. And then we join our cotton to the 3rd stitch at the top there. Work 2 chain quite tightly. Work 1 half double crochet in the same stitch as our join and 1 half double crochet into the next stitch and fasten off. And then for the other side, we're going to join in the 3rd chain, in the back of the chain there. It should be fairly close to the start of the other stitch, other cross section. Work 2 chain quite tightly, 1 half double crochet in the same stitch as the join and 1 half double crochet into the next stitch, the back of the chain there, and fasten off. And that's the cross done. Now for the front and back lights, they work the same. I've got my 208, the yellow gold, and we start with 4 chain. We work 1 single crochet in the 2nd chain from the hook, 1 double crochet in the next chain. A double crochet is a treble using UK terms. For a double crochet, we put the yarn around the hook, hook into the stitch and bring up a loop, yarn around the hook, take the hook with the yarn at the end through 2 loops, yarn around the hook, hook with the yarn at the end through 2 loops, and then we work 1 single crochet in the last chain. The different stitches just gives it a curved edge, and then we fasten off. And we work another one the same. We start with 4 chain, we work 1 single crochet in the 2nd chain from the hook, 1 double crochet in the next chain, and 1 single crochet into the last chain, and fasten off. Now for the siren, I've still got my yellow gold, and the siren has worked over 3 stitches. So if you've turned your fire engine the other way, just make sure it's kind of centered. Now we join in the 3rd stitch from the back there, so just in here. And start with 2 chain, work 1 double crochet into the next stitch, that's a treble using UK terms, and 1 half double crochet in the following stitch, and fasten off. And that's the siren done. Now for the window, I've got my 074, the Mercury, and we start with 10 chain. For row 1, we miss the first chain and work 1 single crochet in each of the next 7 chain. And a joined single crochet over the last 2 chain. So we put our hook into the next chain and bring up a loop, and hook into the last chain and bring up a loop. There's 3 loops on the hook. We put the yarn around the hook and take the hook with the yarn at the end through all the loops. For row 2, we start with 1 chain and turn. We work a joined single crochet over the first 2 stitches, and then 1 single crochet in each stitch to the end. There'll be 7 stitches. For row 3, we start with 1 chain and turn. We work 1 single crochet in each of the first 5 stitches, and a joined single crochet over the last 2 stitches. And for row 4, we start with 1 chain and turn. We work a joined single crochet over the first 2 stitches, and then 1 single crochet in each stitch to the end. And that's the window done. I like to work 1 chain quite tightly. Now I need to turn my window, but if you had your ambulance facing the other way you wouldn't. And then just work one slip stitch in each stitch around. Now I'll just do a chain quite tightly there before I go down the side. It just gives it a better corner. And then I'll work a slip stitch in each stitch down to the corner. and then a chain in as I turn the corner, and then a slip stitch in each stitch along the bottom. And I'll just work a chain quite tightly there before I go up the side. And then slip stitch in your first stitch and fasten off. Now that's all the pieces worked. I'll just work another wheel and weave in the ends, and I'll be back and we'll put it together. There's the pieces. We've got the ambulance body, 2 wheels, the window, the stripe, 2 lights and the cross. The first things we do is embroider the markings along the bottom of the ambulance. In the top of the first row, it goes right across, and it goes from the back of the cab straight down to your bottom marking. Next we attach the wheels about there. There needs to be enough space behind and in front for the lights. So about there, the centre of the circle goes on the body part. Next we attach the lights just above the black mark. So just in there, the curvy bit goes to the back and the front there. Next we attach the stripe from the back and it goes about halfway across. I like to find a line of crochet to stitch it along, but we do need to make sure there's enough space for the window above it. So it goes in about there, but right up against the back. So what I normally do is I'll pin it on and then stitch along. The last things we do is stitch the cross in about the centre of the back part and the window just in there. So I'll stitch those on and I'll be back to show you the finished ambulance. There's the finished ambulance. The size is 17 centimetres wide by 9 centimetres, or 6.5 inches wide by 3.5 inches. If you've liked my video, please like, subscribe and share. I'm also on Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest and Patreon. The details are in the description below, along with the details of my website where I have my patterns and the details of my Facebook group. Thank you for watching. See you next time. Bye.